In 1769, a French philosopher was given a gift, a beautiful scarlet dressing gown. Within a year, he had replaced almost everything he owned: his desk, his chairs, his art, his entire study. He called it one of the worst things that ever happened to him, not because the robe was bad, because of what it did to him, and it's doing the exact same thing to you. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about shopping. You are not buying products. You are buying a version of yourself. Every object you own is a quiet argument for who you think you are, and the moment one of those arguments gets an upgrade, the rest start to look like lies. The philosopher's name was Denis Diderot. He was poor for most of his life, surrounded by old, comfortable, mismatched things. Then a wealthy friend gave him that elegant robe. Suddenly his cheap desk looked shabby next to it, so he replaced the desk. Then the chair beside the desk. Then the art on the wall behind the chair. One beautiful thing had made everything around it look wrong. Psychologists now call this the Diderot Effect. One upgrade creates a cascade. A single new object quietly demands new neighbors. And you have felt this yourself. You buy one nice thing for your home, say, a new couch. Suddenly the coffee table in front of it looks cheap. So the table goes, then the rug underneath it, then the curtains, then the lamp. One couch can repaint an entire room. And you'll call it finally pulling the space together, as if the whole thing was your idea. And here's the part that should make you nervous. Diderot saw it happening. He wrote an entire essay about it. He understood the trap completely, and he still couldn't stop. Because this was never about willpower. To see why, look at what your brain is actually doing when you buy something. It is not calculating usefulness. It is not asking, do I need this? It is asking a stranger question. Does this fit the story of who I am? Your brain runs on consistency. It wants every piece of your life to tell one story. When the pieces match, you feel calm, settled, like yourself. When one piece doesn't match, you feel a low, itching discomfort. Psychologists call that cognitive dissonance. Your brain hates it. So picture what happens with the robe. The robe says, you are a person of taste and quality, but the cracked old desk says, you are broke and getting by. Two objects, two conflicting stories. And your brain cannot stand the contradiction. You'd think the fix would be simple. Enjoy the nice robe, keep the old desk. But that is not what the brain does. It resolves the tension by leveling up. The desk has to rise to meet the robe. Never the other way around. Nobody downgrades the robe to match the desk. The higher status object always wins. It's why a promotion so often comes with a whole new wardrobe. The old clothes suddenly feel like they belong to someone you no longer are. So the upgrade spreads, object by object, until your life matches the most expensive thing in it. Now here's where other people enter the picture. Because you're not only telling this story to yourself, you're telling it to everyone watching. Over a century ago, an economist named Thorstein Veblen noticed something odd. Some products sell better when you raise the price. That makes no sense in normal economics. Higher price, lower demand. That's the rule. But for certain goods, the price is the entire point. We call them Veblen goods. Luxury watches, designer logos, sports cars. Veblen had a name for the behavior. Conspicuous consumption, spending money not to have something, but to be seen having it. Think about a diamond, a shiny rock with almost no practical use. Somehow it became the ultimate symbol of love, and the uselessness is the message. Only someone with resources to burn would waste them on something so pointless. That waste is the signal. Look how much I can afford to throw away. A $10,000 watch does not tell time better than a cheap one. What it tells is other people something about you. I belong here. I made it. The logo isn't decoration. It's a membership card, worn on the outside. And your brain treats belonging as survival. For most of human history, it was. Get cast out of the tribe, and you die. So we are wired to buy our way in. But here's where it gets genuinely strange. Because if buying the thing actually worked, you'd only have to do it once. You'd buy the watch, feel like you belong, and be done forever. That is not what happens. It is never what happens. The reason is a chemical misunderstanding happening inside your head. You think dopamine is the chemical of pleasure. It isn't. Dopamine is the chemical of anticipation, of wanting, not having. In the 1990s, a scientist named Wolfram Schultz proved it, almost by accident. He gave monkeys a squirt of juice and watched their brains. At first, the dopamine fired when the juice arrived, no surprise there, but then he flashed a light just before each squirt. Soon the monkeys learned the light meant juice was coming. and the dopamine moved. It stopped firing at the juice. It fired at the light, at the prediction. The reward itself produced almost nothing. Your brain is the monkey. The anticipation is everything. The having is a letdown. It spikes hardest in the moment right before you get the thing. The scroll toward checkout, the package on the doorstep, the box still closed. That is the peak. That is the high. And the second you actually own it, the dopamine is already draining away. This is the completion illusion. Your brain swore that owning it would feel like wanting it. It lied. It always lies. The having never matches the wanting. So you're left with a thing you've already stopped noticing and a quiet emptiness where the thrill was. And your brain, so helpfully, has a fix for that emptiness. Buy something else. The next thing. The next hit of anticipation. It whispers that this one, will finally be the last purchase. It never is. Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. Whatever you buy, your baseline quietly resets. The new car becomes just the car. The thrill fades back to normal, and normal always needs another hit to rise above. That's not a glitch. That is the whole machine. By now, these objects aren't just sitting in your house. They have moved inside your sense of who you are. A researcher named Russell Belk called this the extended self. He put it bluntly, we are what we have. We don't just use our possessions, we absorb them. They become extensions of us. You can test this on yourself right now. Think about losing your phone, not the money, the phone itself. That flash of panic isn't about a device. It feels like losing a piece of your mind. That is the extended self. The object crossed the border and became you. It's also why throwing things away is so strangely hard. You're not clearing out clutter. It feels like you're amputating. It's why we keep a dead relative's watch we will never wear. Letting go of the object feels like letting go of the person. And it's why downgrading anything feels like a small death. Selling the car, leaving the apartment, going back to the cheaper brand, it doesn't feel like spending less, it feels like becoming less. The stuff isn't around you anymore. The stuff is you, and nobody wants to shrink. So here's the twist, and it isn't the one you expect. After all this, you might think you're being irrational, weak, or foolish with money. You're not. Every single purchase is completely logical. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Keep the story consistent, signal belonging, chase the anticipation, protect the extended self. It is a flawless machine for maintaining one coherent version of you. There is only one problem, one catch that ruins the whole thing. That version of you, the story your brain works so hard to protect. You didn't write it, advertising wrote it. 100,000 images of who you're supposed to be wrote it. The Diderot cascade is real, but someone chose which robe to hand you first. Your brain is loyally defending an identity that was installed, not chosen. You're not the author of the story. You're just the one paying to keep it running. So go back to Diderot, poor and honest in his old robe. He wasn't mourning a dressing gown. He was mourning the moment he stopped owning his things and started being owned by them. That is the real trade. You don't own your possessions. They own the version of yourself you are straining to become. So next time you feel that pull, the certainty that this one purchase will complete you, stop for a second. It won't. It was never designed to. Every time you buy something you don't need, you aren't really shopping. You're editing your identity, one object at a time. And the only question that matters is the one nobody will ever sell you. Who is actually writing the script? Because if you don't know, someone else already is. If you want to see exactly how they do it, how one image can rewrite what you want, that video is next.